What is going on there, gamers and gamettes and everybody in between? If you're wondering what that mix was called, it was a little bit of Doom, a little bit of Metroid, you know what I'm saying? It's the Grapple Beam remix of a Doom soundtrack. Don't worry. If you watch my latest video, the link is in the description. If you need it, I'll go ahead and post the original in the Discord after the podcast is done tonight. But welcome to yet another episode of the Clout.WAV podcast. And I hope you can hear me as clearly as I hear you in the comment section below. But this isn't about me. This is about the GOAT, the young lion, the king of the den, the Lord's disciple. Not only just one, but the favorite disciple at that. So John, Peter, y'all can all move out of the way because it's subtle fraudulence is time. How you doing, man? You been doing all right, man? You good? Everything been safe?
I've been doing okay. I've been safe. I have the powers now, so I feel them emanating in my left arm now. So all is safe
Oh,
from
so you
me.
got the vaccine and you don't need an infinity gauntlet to channel your powers anymore. You just got them off rip.
That's right. Tell everyone they need to call an ambulance, but not for me. So
So you out there with the people who have been talking about, oh no, people are sticking keys to their forehead because they have magnetism powers. They're all magnetos now. Oh my god, they're hooked up to the 5G connections. They'll know where you all are. Can you dox me from where you are with your 5G interconnectivity? Is that how that goes?
That's right. That's right. Explain how this works.
Hey man, I have to explain the powers. Otherwise, how can we stop you? I mean, it's not every day you get to fight Magneto. Like, you don't. It's not every day you get to throw hands with the Great One. You know,
You're right.
It's very rare. And we got you on the show, man. They don't pay. They don't pay me enough. They don't pay you enough, really. But it doesn't matter. Let us delve into all the nonsense that we have on this show this week. So let's start off. Let's get it over with because we didn't talk about it because it hadn't happened yet. The whole Mayweather fight. Now, look, as somebody who's seen most of Mayweather's fights, how he got to 50-0, he was not an entertaining fighter. He was not a flashy fighter. Never was, never claimed to be, has never portrayed that. He was I'm going to finesse you, run you, dodge, weave, be a precision boxer in the ring, and just be very cerebral, picking his shots. So this whole notion that he's out here throwing haymakers and just knocking out every single one of his opponents, simply put, not true. Not true at all. A lot of his knockouts were, technical knockouts. Like the guy was still standing, maybe not the most coherent, but like he was never the pop pop and you were down and out for the count. No more looking at your opponent. He was not you putting people on the canvas with big shots. It's just not what he was. It was not in his makeup. Could he do it? Sure, at times, but this was not like Mike Tyson, all right? This wasn't like, oh, he's boxing a YouTuber. Oh, that guy's going to Sleepsville. Even though there was a part in the fight where you could debate either way because it looked like your boy Logan was had to be held up. But I digress. Pushing past all of the shenanigans and the nonsense and the hoo-ha, that fight was everything that Mayweather has always been.
Yep.
People are talking like, oh my god, like I thought the fight was in July because I missed it. I thought the fight was in July because I literally could not have cared less about the fight. I was like, Mayweather's fighting again? All right. I mean, that's cool and all. Against who? Anywho. So I moved on. I was kind of shocked that they had Chad Ochocinco fighting some other dude on there, and Ochocinco got dropped. I'm like, what type of dog and pony show we running out here where we... Like, I would rather watch the old Claymation Celebrity Deathmatch than any of this nonsense they got going on here. But anywho, back to the fight itself.
But would you rather watch the new Celebrity Deathmatch episodes instead of that fight?
Nah, throw it back. Throw it. What? Well, then that fight, maybe, because, like I said, Floyd Mayweather, when he was fighting actual boxers, his fights were never entertaining. Like, don't get me wrong, when it comes to precision in-ring boxer, goated. Like, hands down. We're talking about finessing the opponent, laming them out, getting them to punch themselves out until they're tired, which... If you saw any of the clips that were posted on Twitter about the fight, because that's how I saw the fight. I saw the fight via Twitter clips. And by like round, 2.5, round 3, that Paul brother was, he was sucking big wind. And Floyd was just like, built for this. Like his cardio was S tier. My man was not running out of stamina at all.
It's like Logan, didn't do any research on Mayweather or how Mayweather fights at all, because he for some reason just kept going in. It's like what are you doing? Like that's that's Morgan right there. She's gonna run away. Like you shouldn't chase her. Like you should wait for your opportunity and then punish. Like why are you sitting here trying to like go in every time? Like nah, I'm gonna catch him. Hug me, bro.
I thought,
Come on, like
I thought Mance was about to pass out, but all in all, the fight happens, and a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, he should have knocked him out. He should have finished him." No, I don't think y'all understand the brilliance of Mr. Mayweather, because I don't know if you guys, because I saw more of the press conference that they had to, the weigh in and all that dog and pony show as well. Where I don't know if you guys know this, but Jake Paul was the one that disrespected Floyd.
oh, that's why I'm confused by this.
So people are like, why didn't he just knock Logan out? Because that's not the fight that he really wants. Like, this was business. Make your 50, 200, however many millions, and just get an easy payday.
250 million.
Oh, okay, 50 plus 200, even better. It's both numbers put together to get that money. Now, what does this mean? You might be bigging up the other, but if he couldn't knock you out and I'm a better boxer than you, ain't no way he gonna knock me out. I'll fight him. Floyd Mayweather has just guaranteed himself a second gargantuan payday, which will be even bigger because he got 250 beating the Paul who hasn't even won a fight.
Right.
Imagine how much money you can get paid to fight the one that has not only won a fight, but has beat another celebrity in Nate Robinson. So you already know a bigger payday could potentially be on the horizon. Now, obviously, we know Floyd Mayweather said that he was going to go ahead and call it retirement part 2. But if the price is right, you saw if he was talked out of 1, he could be talked out of retirement part 2. That, and as you know, you guys probably seen on Twitter, people have been saying that, oh my God, if Logan could go that far and go the distance, Jake would kill him. So, like I said, the narrative, all the combustible elements for the Jake Floyd fight are all there. The melting pot is already swirling. Like, I'm sure the money machine is already concocting how we can get this to the people. However, to all of you who bought this fight, shame. Shame on you. Foolishness. If y'all bought the fight to see a knockout, you're damn fools. You're just fools. I'm sorry. I don't want to call you silly. I don't want to call you stupid. But there's a point in time where you got to realize not money well spent. And also people watch it on YouTube. Some people watch it on Twitch because, and just like every boxing event, there's always someone who labels their stream Fight Night and pretends to be playing the video game of the actual fight being streamed in the background. And the dude had like over 600 viewers by the time I turned it up. Like when I was scrolling through, I was like, 600 viewers for Fight Night? And I was like, oh, you're doing this. And I was like, all right, bro, all right, whatever, bro. So outside of that, I think I might have been streaming Apex at the time of the fight. We'll check the tapes. I think I was streaming during the time. Because what was I doing at the time? Somebody could check my Twitch. Somebody could check it and let me know on that. But ultimately, being said, all the seeds are planted for an even bigger payday on the horizon. And this man don't need more money. My man already got 14 cars and like 3 Bugattis that are all like $6 to $15 million a pop. Like, he is now trying to not accumulate money. He is building generational wealth for his family, which is something that is really huge. And most people in their lifetime never get to the point where they can build generational wealth on their own accord. So, like I said, hate him, love him, feeling different about him, doesn't matter. Point is, he is getting his paper up to, he's at a point now where he's billionaire with a B. And you have to respect that. I mean, you saw how the numbers that he had with his Pacquiao fight. Like, big boomer bucks over here. Especially when he negotiates his contracts to the point to where he always gets the majority of the money.
Yeah.
So, like, let's keep it a whole Kobe Bean here. Clearly, he's got it up here. He ain't got CTE yet, folks. His brain's still cooking. Or whatever team he got around him has put together a master plan to make max CPM, as the FGC would like to call it back in the day. But all in all, if you paid for the fight, and you feel like you got scammed, the only person who you have to blame is yourself. Because the fight went exactly how you thought the fight would win. But
I wasn't even gonna watch the fight at first, but I saw that like some people that I know were like streaming it in Discord, and so I was like, okay, I'll join and see. Maybe it's like more hype than I thought, and it wasn't. I was like, oh, this is already a wash. Like Logan was tired, like he was covered in sweat, and he kept swinging. Like,
but the thing about Twitter that annoys me is because you get a lot of teenagers and a lot of kids who don't know a damn thing about it. Like, they basically don't know shit about shit, quite frankly. And they saw when Logan unleashed that flurry in which Floyd just weaved and blocked all of it. They said, look at all those punches that landed. Logan's winning. And I'm like, that's not how boxing works.
Yeah.
I'm glad you think that. And they said,
like, who's in control right now?
Like, there's some people who thought that, like, oh, because he landed more punches. Like, look, if you threw 67 punches and landed like 40 of those, that's impressive. You throw 300 of them things and land the same 67, that's not impressive. It's not impressive. Now, landing 67 punches in and of itself, that is impressive. But if you throw like 500 of them and you're just over here trying to be a JoJo character, it's not the same. And people had bets on the fight, and I'm just like, what? Who's gambling on this stuff, man? Like, who? But I can't really roast people for gambling on it, because I don't know if you know this. Did you know that Vegas and other gambling sites take odds on WWE fights? Did you know you can bet on who's going to win at WrestleMania? Like, there are bets on who's going to win the Royal Rumble. Imagine if Vegas opened up bets like, who will be the last Avenger to die in the Infinity War movie? Like, could you imagine that? Like, it's just weird.
But that's an FGC bet right there.
Yeah, that's the long odds right there. Talk to him.
Hey, bro, is it going to be odds or evens on the clock by the end of the match? Let's go. $200.
No, please, no. Nah, bro. And it's like that it hits timeout, and it's like, well, zeros are even numbers, so I'm gonna need you. Nah, brother, that's not how that works.
This is a real mix. Oh my god, I literally saw like, all right, which character gets the first combo, or like who's hit? The no, not even first hit. Like, which player is gonna get the first kill? Like which player is gonna kill a character first?
Oh, like in a team game? Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
And that was hilarious. Oh man, that's fun stuff to see right there. People will bet on anything at this point.
They sure will. Like when the Super Bowl happens, people bet. Like, there's a bet on how long the national anthem will be.
What the hell? 5 minutes.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Whoever gets to do the Super Bowl, they really be milking it, bro.
Right. I mean, remember the Fergie one? Like, oh, jeez.
That one should have went down as a terrorist attack. Like, I'm gonna keep it a whole beam with you, bro. That one was bad. But like, they really be getting into it when they be doing these big games. They be like, "Was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming," and it's like, could you just sing the song, ma'am? Sir, can you just get to the part of the song where we finish it and wrap it up? Nah, man, they're like, this is my time to receive maximum clout for our nation. It's like, man, you're really pimping the flag for clout? That's what we doing? I mean, hey.
Hey, man, they sure will do it. All right, every single time. I mean, don't you see people who have like they have American flag like outfits and whatnot? Like, come on, bro. Like they'll do whatever they need to do.
Because here's the thing: if you actually pull out the national anthem and you actually look at it and you look at the lyrics, it's not that long.
It's not.
It's really not that long. It honestly could be 1 minute and 42 seconds. Tops. But nah, like, hold on. Like, if you go on YouTube right now, right? Let's just go Super Bowl National Anthem 2021. Let's do Pandemic Soups. How long you think the video is?
3 minutes.
You said 3 minutes?
Yep.
2 minutes 58 seconds. Boy, you good? You
Yeah.
good?
Hey, man. I would win those bets.
You be crushing it right now, Vegas.
No.
But it's always
man.
like 2 minutes plus, and like when Lady Gaga took like almost 3 minutes, and it's just like,
Well, that's because that's Lady Gaga. She is, she is a queen. She must bless us with as much time as possible.
and you remember the Kobe Remembrance Game national anthem that was done by Boys the Men, and that one was like 3 minutes and some change.
I mean, that's Boys to Men, bro. We want
I
5
knew
minutes.
what it was. We want all the time. Just lock us in this moment forever, God. It'll be
Right.
great.
And harmonizing the national anthem? Oh, we want that forever. What are you
Boys
talking about?
to men. But I know a lot of people have been looking at Twitter recently, and y'all may have seen that Velma was trending, and a lot of people are apparently up in arms that, oh my god, how is Velma going to be Asian? Oh my god. And look, there's a whole lot of questions that you can ask here, whether it be, why is Velma Asian? What is this faux diversity that they're going for? Because as we've seen, if you look at the Scoob movie, she was like a soft Hispanic. And by soft Hispanic, I mean they darkened her skin. She spoke Spanish for a couple of seconds. And it was like, is she? Is she not? We'll never answer or address this question during the course of this film or in any other way. But she does have a Latina voice actress, so it could be your headcanon, but they never really fully address it. She in the live action 2009 movie, I think it was called like First Mystery. I don't know if you guys remember it. I'm not talking about the ones that came out in theaters with Scrappy Doo and then the one with the monsters from their past. There's literally one that was strictly a Cartoon Network exclusive movie that was only on TV, and she was portrayed by an Asian actress a decade ago. So this isn't like something new they've done with the character. This is something that they've done technically twice before, and nobody seemed to bat an eye, complain, raise a furrowed brow. No one decided to scrunch their lips and be like, none of these things. No one gritted their teeth. None of the sort. And if you look at the two theatrical movies, it was played by someone who a lot of people thought was Hispanic at that time, and I think it's like, what's her name? Lisa Cardinelli, I believe.
Linda Cardellini.
Cardellini. All right. So,
Yeah.
but like the race of a character can be swayed either direction. I just wish that, we would see more of a character either make a new character, or if you're going to flip their race, have their race actually play a bit of a, I don't know, what's the word here? Like, not just be like a tokenism. Like, oh, they're black, it's diverse, and we just keep it pushing like it's the exact same. Like, oh, we made this character black, but they have no black friends at all. It's just,
well, look, man. I looked up the Scooby-Doo movie that you were talking about, and
oh no, that movie was bad. By the way, I just want to keep it because there's a sequel to it.
Yeah,
that one also got a sequel, and
I didn't know there was a sequel to it. But
there is.
So like Fred is played by Robbie Amell, and like he didn't want to wear the he didn't want to wear the he didn't want to wear the wig to be blonde, and so they just left him like they just left him with his natural hair color, which is dark.
Yeah.
So they did what they did with that movie, and it happened, and that was it. So I don't know. Canon wise, sure, you can take that and be like, man, okay, that adds something to it, but ultimately,
like, here's the
you can
thing.
do whatever you want.
Like, here's the thing. I don't give a shit either way what the race of these characters are, because at the end of the day, Scooby-Doo has been chopped, screwed, remixed, done forward, backwards, and diagonal in all sorts of ways. They've solved mysteries with John fucking Cena. They've solved mysteries with the people from Supernatural. They even
Sam and
swear.
Dean.
They even had some swear words pop up. So let's not act like Scooby-Doo has a very, very definitive, set in stone rule book that they have to go by, because they don't. They simply just don't. They never has been. Do y'all not remember a pup named Scooby-Doo? Do y'all not remember that? By the way, top 5 cartoon intro all time, by the way. I will die on that hill. I will die on it. You can put my grave up there if you'd like, but I'll die on that hill. But Scooby-Doo has never had a distinct format on how things are done. So them changing a character's race, it's like, who gives a shit? Now, some people say, but what about the Black Superman? You weren't really the biggest fan of that. And I was like, because that was Black Clark Kent, when we already have a Black Superman whose story, for whatever reason, they never want to tell. They never want to tell that story. I don't know why. It bothers me to this day. To this day.
I mean,
Look, tell us the story of Calvin Ellis and we can move on with our life, okay? That's my point. That'll be sick.
at this point,
Uh-oh.
because ultimately I don't care.
He's lagging. He cut out. My man's, uh-oh. No, we back? Is he back?
I mean, I cut out and I came back already.
All
I'm
right.
here.
All right, say what you got to say again. Repeat that for us one time.
Oh, I don't really care about I don't really care to have more like Scooby-Doo series or more Scooby-Doo lore. It's not really like necessary anymore. Like the show came out, the movies came out. That was all nice. We can let it rest. We don't need to do like a Simpsons here and make it last forever because people are just like, man, I just really like the characters and stuff. Because then eventually you get stuff like that TV movie where it's like, this is a nothing burger because like there's like nothing important happening here. There's nothing important lore wise. Like
none of the characters got their arcs furthered in any meaningful way.
Right. And making this Velma series, it's like cool, whatever, that'll be nice. People like Velma, and Mindy Kaling is probably gonna do what she wants to do with that character, but I don't care. Like I just don't care. Like it'll unless it does something like new and different from all the other things in the past, I'm not going to care about it. Like, okay, a good example of how they could do that is Superman, right? We have all kinds of Superman bullshit, all kinds of comics, all kinds of movies, all kinds of live action movies. You've seen the Superman origin story so many fucking times that like you could recite it, no matter where you are. Someone will hold up a gun to your head and say, "Where's Superman from?" And you'll be like, "Krypton." Yeah, whatever, right? Superman and Lois came out, and this is a brand new show that's supposed to be about Superman, but they didn't bother with the origin story, anything like that. Instead, they decided to choose a point in time that the Superman mythos doesn't focus on, and then give him characteristics that would make sense for Superman or for Clark, like as a person, and then push on from there. Take some things that you've seen in the DC universe that may be related to Superman, and then build a story off of that that's new and interesting and also like relatable in some parts. And it all works. Like it's entertaining. I love the show. I sit there and I wait for every episode that's coming out because it's entertaining, even though it's telling a Superman story, which we've all heard many times, but it's new and it's fresh with the way that they're approaching it. If they do that with Scooby-Doo, okay, sure. If they do that with this Velma show, sure. I don't care if she's Asian, like whatever, she'll still be Velma, so whatever, I'll still watch it. If they don't, then I don't care. Then, good job trying.
Like I said, as long as it has respect to the character, I don't care what race the actor or actress that is portraying the character. But I'm just saying, we've seen time and time again that they'll throw, they act like they try to act like they're throwing a bone to whatever community that they've decided to cast on the lead role. And then they try to spin it to be, if you don't like the movie, then you're probably racist, sex, insert thing here.
Yeah, we're
And,
finally at the point where we can like firmly say no. This is not coming from a place of racism. This is just coming from a place of like this is material that has like a source. Like if you write a biography about my life, I hope you don't cast me with like a white dude. You know what I'm saying?
okay, well,
Like
the biography is definitely mad different, bro.
that. I did, yeah, sure.
That is somebody's life.
Sure. But like this is like a world that's been built and been around for a while. So it's like, okay, I'm expecting these, people to look the same. And if they're not, you could just, say, hey, multiverse theory. This is just a different universe. And that's fine.
I mean, that's what they said about the Velma thing. They said this takes place in a different universe. I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
why.
fine.
I don't know why there needs to be a multiverse for Scooby Doo, but we have one. We've always had one. There's been plenty of these motherfuckers since. When did Scooby Doo originate? Like the 50s, 60s? Hell,
I want to say like 60s, maybe 70s.
Scooby Doo or original. When did that original series come out? 1969.
All right, Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, man. Damn, it was the. We didn't have that many stations back in the day, but like it just seems weird that it was a CBS exclusive.
Yeah.
And then it went to ABC, and then you guys know about the 87 till present, where it's been basically anything Warner Brothers, Cartoon Network. I don't know do any of y'all watch Boomerang? Like, if you're in the comment section, like, let us know. Is Boomerang something y'all still watch?
Here's a better question. Do any of you also watch television, live television?
Because here's the thing. Y'all have seen this TV up here for the longest time. Like, it's big, it's gaudy, it's great. And the last thing that we watched on this television, would you like to know what it was? Last thing we watched on this here fucking unit was the Super Bowl. I don't know what you think. Damn, bro, the Super Bowl, that's crazy. That wasn't that long ago. Rams versus Patriots. Yeah.
Well,
That was 2019. Just in case any of y'all forgot. 2019. So it's been it's been 2 years and a quarter since this thing has even been on. My TV upstairs in my own personal little room, where I sleep, I haven't used that since. Hold on, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Can't tell you. I really can't. No, I do remember. What the season 3 premiere of Rick and Morty. The one that was on April Fool's Day with or was that season 2?
that might have been season 3.
The one
Because we're on season 5 now.
Okay, yeah, season 3. The one with the IHOP, or the one where he wanted to get I think it was Szechuan sauce, and there was like a bug.
Oh,
and for April,
that was the Shoney's, and that was season 3.
Okay, Shoney's. All right, that one. So yeah, it's been a minute since like I've really bit down on watching cable television. Why? Because there's too many things on streaming services and YouTube, Twitch, and various other platforms that exist now where I can spend like total like $22 a month and get almost more on a magnitude of like 7 times, 8 times more amounts of content that I care about than I could through $200, $300, $500 worth of cable subscription packages. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah,
I'm not saying cable is necessarily run its course, because I'm sure there is plenty of people out there who really need to get their Law and Order, which you can get on like the NBC, like was it Peacock or whatever? Don't know why you would even have Peacock, because like, sure, Law and Order might be great and something you might want to consume on the daily, but I feel as though if you're gonna make me pay, I'm not buying Law and Order. Like, that's dumb. That's ridiculous. So I can see why, who's really buying Peacock? Like, what does Peacock have that anybody really needs to see?
The Saved by the Bell reboot.
All right, kid, I'm gonna tell you right now. I said needs to see.
The Office.
All right, look, I will give you that. I'll give you some leeway on The Office, but there are many other avenues where you can watch The Office. I mean, you could buy both series of The Office for like what, $60 total?
Buy in 2021. Come on, man. What do you? What is this nonsense that you're talking about? Next, you're gonna tell me buy a DVD. Wow,
What are you talking about?
crazy.
You can buy it on Amazon right now for $100.
Wow, buy when I could just get myself a nice subscription for 1 month and just watch the whole thing, and then forget about it the next 2 months later.
Like, don't get me wrong, that is the way to do it. Especially if you use a VPN and get it on the super cheap. But you know that is tech for another discussion. That is some new tech. That's right.
If you use a VPN, you could watch it on Netflix right now.
Exactly. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Netflix actually has region locked programming. Like, you could have Netflix and go to a VPN and, like, say you're in Portugal or say you're in, like, Taiwan, and you will get a whole different slew of shows that you can't even watch on an American IP.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, you know, just dabble. Just dabble. You'll be surprised what type of new avenues of content open up for you. You really will. You really will. You might even find a documentary on the Selena 52 truck stop. You want to talk to him about that?
All righty then. So Selena 52 is a trucking company that put out an ad that everyone was a little confused by because it had a picture of a woman named I believe Amelia was her name, right?
Mhm.
And then it told this whole story of Amelia and how she showed up to the shop, and she was a trucker herself and told the stories of the road, right? And she's in this picture holding up like some monster paraphernalia
It
or
was
whatever.
a Monster energy drink cooler.
Okay, yeah, it was a cooler. Yeah, it was a Monster Energy drink cooler.
You know, like
And
one of those mini fridges. Like every FGC esports has a Red Bull one behind them.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's one of those.
So, so she was also wearing a t-shirt that I think it said like "trucking and fucking" or "trucking and sucking" or something like that. So people noticed that this woman looked a lot like Amy Schumer, and she was very thin. And so it seemed like maybe people were like, maybe this is a very, very old picture of Amy Schumer. Maybe it's a recent picture of Amy Schumer. And then they also noticed that there was like a teardrop tattooed on this person's face. And the company, put out on the tweet that this woman actually does not have a teardrop on her face because she murdered someone. No, no, no. She accidentally hit someone with her truck, and the teardrop is to commemorate that person who had fallen to the hands of the
Of the
giant
truck
truck
that she splattered them with.
Yeah, that she definitely
Because it was
murdered
really
them
weird. Because
with.
I have the Facebook post. I have the Facebook post posted right here. So what Selena said, Selena 52 Truck Stop says, "Who says only men drive trucks? Big
No.
rig driver Amelia stopped in this morning to
No.
redeem her cranking the hog. You know what that means. Yeah, you know. Reward points for this brand new mini fridge valued at over $500 due to the Monster Energy branding." Basically saying the mini fridge isn't worth anything, but because it has Monster Energy on it, it's worth a lot. Thanks for continuing to let us service you. Danny from the Selena Truck Stop team. And what ends up happening is her face looks really, really weird because like her hair and her chin, like it has this weird Gaussian blur around it.
Yeah.
Now, could that be a real person? Oh, absolutely. But it literally looks like Amy Schumer's face. And if you go and look through the social media of Selena 52 Truck Stop, they are a truck stop that in fact does not exist. They
Yep.
they literally just sell joke merch, like their trucking and the fucking shirt that you can now buy for like $20 on their website. And she has like the gang member teardrop that you were mentioning tattooed right here. And they're basically, as you said, and hey, she didn't murder anyone. She just fell asleep at the wheel and murdered somebody. Manslaughter. And we're A-okay with that. And then someone said, well, she's wearing that shirt. So, like, is she having sex with people? And then
Is
Amelia,
she gonna have sex with me?
yeah, some people came out the woodwork, and then that's when Selena 52 Truck Stop said Amelia wanted to point out that the teardrop, blah 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 blah. And then someone said, "Oh, thank God! I was afraid you guys supported murderers for a minute. Since she fell asleep and killed them, it makes it wholesome." Then Selena 52 Truck Stop responds with, "How can you murder someone in your sleep exactly? You can't." Which then is followed up by someone saying, "Yes, as a grown woman, she can have a truck and as much or little sex as she would like, consenting, mind you, she wants. Do you have a problem with freedom?" And then that's when Selena Truck Stop decided to respond with, "Well, I can tell you this. If she tries to have sexual intercourse at our truck stop, she will find herself in prison. We don't allow it, and we are constitutionally exempt." Now, yes, this is a joke truck stop, but for some reason, people on Twitter seem to think that this is a real truck stop and this is a real situation and scenario, and that this is like people are genuinely getting pissed off and like wanting to cancel this non-existent truck stop. And I'm like, how do people fall for memes that are clearly memes? Like a Google search, maybe two, will tell you everything that you need to know to not take bait in 90% of situations when it comes to pretty much any interaction that you'll have on any social media platform. And people will be like, I'm mad. I can't believe this son of a bitch would allow themselves to have any type of following. Like, who are these people? Like, when did we get to the era where the average person just sees anything and their mind just explodes? Like, it just turns into like the Amoeba Boys from the Powerpuff Girls having a conversation and trying to deliberate what's the best course of action to get rid of this social media entity off of the platform. Like, I'm just trying to figure out like how we got to this point. Because now there's a giant thread of people saying, "But wait, look, there's more." And then they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe a company would say that manslaughter is okay, but getting railed at the truck stop is where they draw the line. Oh my God, we need to get rid of these people." And like,
Can you imagine these people who are out here just like, wow, they won't let me get railed at a truck stop? That's crazy. How dare they? You know what? Let's kick them off the internet for that.
because here's the thing, this is not the first time they've had an image that they've clearly photoshopped, all right? Like, this is
Yeah,
not.
it
And
also definitely looks like, it's a picture of Amy Schumer's face photoshopped on a real woman's body. So
exactly. And they do this all the time. And now you got people tagging Amy Schumer talking about, "I heard the family of the person she killed by running them over was while she was asleep at the wheel was terribly distraught until they heard that she honored him by putting a teardrop on her face. Now they're
look,
glad it happened." And I'm like, look,
look, Amy Schumer could sue.
she really could. She really
Like,
could.
she could definitely sue. Be like, they're using my likeness. I didn't sign on for this, and they're making profits off of it because they're selling the T-shirt that's in the picture.
Exactly. And I'm just confused on why there are people who are like upset about this. Like, it's the biggest nothing burger in the history of nothing burgers. But I swear people get online to be offended these days. Like, I think they hop online and like, let's get
No,
offended. I want to be mad and potentially. And here's the thing: a lot of people, when they get mad and want to do their social media activism, it's not activism. It's not even slacktivism. It's, how can I make whatever this is about me so I can receive more clout? Like, I'm almost sure that a lot of these people aren't mad. They just want to pretend that they're mad so they can get their likes and their retweets and their interactions up. And I'm sure, because we've seen people make careers out of being offended and upset and
well,
disgruntled. We've seen it.
I don't think these people are necessarily like waking up wanting to be bad. Um, I think that they're being manipulated into like seeing only things that will definitely make them like feel a certain type of way. I think I did like a podcast or video or something. I think I did like a podcast episode on this. But there's a woman her name escapes me, but there's this woman who basically like brands herself as, she's like an ex SJW whatever, and she peddles a bunch of like right wing talking points now, to basically say that she used to be one of those people who would like show up on Twitter and like just expect to like get into arguments with everyone about everything all of the fucking time, and it got to a point where when she went out in like the real world, she was confused when nothing terrible would happen to her. She got really confused when things were okay, or things were just normal for her, and people were treating her with respect, and it was like it was just like she completely lost her sense of reality, all because she thought that what she saw on the internet of like sock puppet account showing up and being like, wow, you support pedophiles, or like, oh, you're just trying to take away my freedom, shit like that would just happen all the time in the streets. That were just all out here accusing each other of things and like yelling at each other all the time instead of just living our lives. And that's what happens to like a lot of people who mostly on Twitter, but also through like YouTube and shit like that, where it's like if you like a tweet that's popular, or you like a certain video that is getting traction or whatever, now you're going to start seeing more things that are in line with whatever that was about, even if you were liking it to be like, wow, this is ridiculous or whatever, because the like button doesn't, the like button has no emotions behind it. The like button is all about, hey, you like this, so you must want to see more of this, and that's all the algorithms, understands.
Because
You,
here's the other thing. Back in the day, I know this is before, I would say probably 95% of our audience's time. YouTube used to have this thing called a star rating system. And it wasn't just 1 star, 2 star. You could also have half stars. So if there was a video that you thought was okay, but it didn't wow you, it was just like, that wasn't bad, you can give it a 3.5 star rating. You thought something was average, 3-star rating. You thought something was good, didn't wow you, but you were like, this is solid, I respect this, 4-star. Thought something was great, almost perfect, but not quite there, 4.5 stars. And if you were just like standing ovation, this was hilarious, you were falling out your chair in laughter, you could hit them with the old 5-star. There's a range of emotions that you could put there. Because not only did you get to see the star rating when you clicked the video, when you were scrolling and you saw the thumbnail of the video, you could see what the average star rating was of a video. So if it was 1 star and you knew it was garbage, you didn't give it clicks. Now, obviously, with advertisers being all over the website, they don't care what you watch. They want that advertising revenue. So now you have to click the video before you can even find out if it's good or not. And back in the day, like even after that, when they changed it to the thumbs up system, there was a giant red and green bar that you could see before you click the video. But they got rid of all that because, they don't want to have bad optics anywhere. Because if every video looks like it's doing good, then the website's doing good.
But they also don't want your feelings to be hurt when you see a large red under your video of like, wow, people don't like this. And, they don't want your emotions to go awry. And then they have to deal with some sort of lawsuit of like, wow, YouTube, you did this.
But eventually, I'm telling you, they're going to turn into Facebook. There's not even going to be a thumbs down. It's just going to be how many likes can you accumulate. There will not be any sort of dislike. It will be a non-existent button. Because I don't know if you guys remember, there was a time where you also could make reply videos. Those days are over. Because
bring it back, man.
No, they won't, because they're like, oh my god, bullying, yada yada. You know the game. We live in the softest era of humankind. Right.
Wow, so you're just gonna let TikTok allow these things to happen? Wow, that's crazy. I can put my face on someone else's video and be like, I think this video is garbage, and then go on with my day.
Wait, nah, man, you can just take their video, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could put my face.
No, you don't even have to put your face. You don't understand. There's a dude who's like in the top 10 follow TikTok accounts, and he literally just steals the video. So. Like we are at a point now where TikTok is what old YouTube was like with zero moderation. And it's on an international level. So if you want to go, if y'all, a lot of y'all say that, hey man, old YouTube was lit. There's TikTok. Go ahead and get on out there. See what's popping in the streets. Let me know. I was on TikTok for like 3 weeks and I was like, I hate it here. So I just, I kept things schmoving. Now, granted, it's where I literally have gotten probably the most interactions from, my content. So, I might
Unfortunately,
have to
yes.
unfortunately reward those people, but we will get to that when we get to that, unfortunately. But I'm at Kaiserenth on everything. So, if you want to follow your boy, you can always look me up. But I digress. Back to the talking subject at hand. The Selena 52 truck stop really is just a gigantic meme, and people should let it
It's not
go.
real.
It's
It's a
not real.
scam.
It's
Like they're literally like, we're gonna develop this fake trucking company so that we can sell merch for this company that doesn't exist, and people will be like, "Wow, I really like that shirt because it says trucking and fucking. That's what I like to do when I'm out on the road," and people will buy it,
yeah.
and
And if you go to the
they do.
website, it says "Welcome to the Selena Truck Stop. Please buy some shit and leave. Thank you." Like that's
I
literally
like that
that's
guy's attitude. He's
yeah.
just telling me what to do. We're straight up. He's being straight up. He's not, sugarcoating it or anything like that, trying to be
And they
sensitive or any of that nonsense. He's just telling me what to do.
and they have 4 products. The first one is the logo in a women's cut shirt. The second one is the logo on a men's cut shirt. And then there's one that just says gay transport.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, it says gay transport trucking shirt. Like it's just a shirt that says gay transport because you can always smuggle some wieners in my ass. Like that's the joke. That is the joke. That is number 1. And then their number 1 best-selling shirt is the shirt that has a big rig truck on the top with the words truckin' and fucking underneath it. Those are the 4 products. That's it. That is all that's on there. And people are buying these things. Like
They're like $20 a shirt, right?
uh so here's the thing, right? Some people are going to say sexism because all the men's shirts are $17.99. The woman's cut shirt is $18.50.
It might be like because of material is being used or whatever.
I checked. The
Uh,
men and the women's shirt are the same material. Now maybe whoever they're negotiating with or whatever Chinese company they have making the
yeah, the
shirts,
supplier might be like charging them different based on like on sex, which
because
is weird.
the cut of the shirt may be like, oh well, we got to do this for the cut of the shirt. So maybe
Yeah,
that's a thing. But look, I'm not saying you can't buy the shirt. I'm not saying you can't buy the merch. My only issue was the people who wanted to be offended,
I
acting like
am.
there was some great national tragedy over a trucking company that doesn't exist, that is just a meme.
Nah, I think more people were just kind of like laughing, like, "Wow, is that Amy Schumer? That's crazy. I didn't know her life was that bad." And it's just like Amy Schumer just had a baby and like got married and stuff, and she was on TV. Like she didn't look like that on TV. Like guys,
Like, come on,
there's no way.
guys. Like, what are we doing here? But even after all that, we're still not at the darkest part of the timeline because I don't know if you guys know this, but Super Smash Brother community members have really outdone themselves. So if you're wondering what's with the thumbnail and why Leffen is above my head and why there's a WinRAR file at the top left-hand corner of the image, it is because Haxx decided to come out with like a 2.5-hour documentary manifesto, like his magnum opus of why Leffen is a terrible human being entitled
That's right.
Evidence.ZIP
And
2.
this is also why the community is a bunch of clout chasers who are trying to hide the fact that this demon is amongst us, trying to destroy the community and everything that we see fit. And I am the only one that will expose him for what he truly is, because I have been a part of this community for 16 years, and I will let you all know exactly what I've witnessed through all of this time. You see this file right here? This file has all of the evidence that I need on my side. I read books about totalitarianism, all right? I understand all of it. All of it.
So you want to know the funniest thing about the Evidence.ZIP or I was going to call it documentary, nonsense? You want to know what I think
What?
is the best part about it?
Tell me. What's your
It
favorite part?
This man, Haxx, the person who is the author of it, decided to come out in that video and say that Leffen is turning his phone into the Death Note. Now, I know what you're thinking. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm sorry. He's doing what now? I beg your pardon. Apparently, he's turning his phone into the Death Note because everyone that Leffen has ever gone after or blocked has gone out of their way to somehow find their way in the bad optics and in the dark corner of the Shadow Realm, in which, because Leffen's name carries so much clout in the community, if Leffen doesn't like him, well, nobody likes you apparently. And apparently,
But Kisrinth, what about all those years where everyone hated Leffen because he was being terrible to everybody and he got banned?
Never happened. Never happened.
Oh,
never happened.
All right. What about Hungrybox, who he still does not like and still like states that he does not like? Hungrybox is fine.
What are you talking about? Hungrybox is an elder statesman, and the Chapel of the Puff will not allow any sort of besmirch upon his name. All right, let's just start there. That's number one. Number two.
What about all the people who talk shit about Hungrybox?
No. You have to understand. You have to understand. In this Evidence.ZIP part, he was saying the reason why the crab was thrown at Hungrybox is because of the riot that Leffen started. And I'm like, huh? Wait, huh?
Bro, like the derangement going on here. All right, you see what the internet is doing to all of you.
Yeah,
The man read some books and he put this dossier together to say the one man is the reason why the community is distraught. All the while, in the beginning of this video, the very beginning of this video, he says that you people may know me because I helped design the box controller. Do you guys know about how the box controller came to be? Allegedly. This man was a tester for the Smashbox, which had to come out later, but was being designed before the box. And then he apparently ghosted the devs or creators of the Smashbox, took their design, went to whatever company makes box, and was like, hey, we're gonna like alter this a little bit, but we're gonna make our own thing because I really like this and it's gonna help me because my hands hurt from using that horrible GameCube controller all these years. And so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna make this my claim to fame. I'm gonna make some money off of this. And got exposed, like people expose this. This became a very like controversial topic, and he started showing up to tournaments with the box controller, like none of it was a problem or whatever. And he's like, promoting this thing like none of that happened. Nah, fake news, guys. What are you talking about?
It's not
none
real.
Of those things happen. It's not real. What are you talking? The Smashbox is just ripping off the box, even though Smashbox Hitbox came out and was like, oh, this is what we're trying to do for you guys, Smash community. Like, isn't it going to be awesome to have this this really nice controller and whatnot? We're testing it. We're trying to put it out there or whatever, right? And then the boxers came out before it. We were just like, yeah, it's a ripoff. How? Where's the logic here? What? What? It's like the Paladins and Overwatch thing. It was like, well, one clearly came first, and it's very obvious that one stole the idea from the other, and just they just did it first, or they had more money, or whatever, and people were just kind of like, yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
It never mattered, man.
No, it doesn't matter anymore. Like this man who has this kind of moral compass where he's in a situation where he may have destroyed someone's business for his own personal gain, is now saying that one man is so demonic that he is trying to destroy the entire community with his influence that he got from his redemption arc. Like, what is this?
The other part there was an interesting piece of the little thing he put together there was when Haxx said Zero was victimized by Leffen because Leffen used Zero's tragedy, the tragedy of Zero, in order to make himself look better to the community. And I'm like,
that doesn't even make sense.
I'm like that. What?
Zero created his tragedy. Like Leffen, well, you think Leffen showed up into the room and was like, "Yeah, go ahead and do all those things that people will not like." No,
No, all right. So the way he worded it made it come off like he was saying that Leffen got these people to touch these kids, so Leffen could look good by comparison. But when you actually listen to what Haxx said, he's trying to make it seem like the only reason why Leffen even pretended to care about the tragedies that took place within the Smash community was he could talk about them and make himself look like he wasn't that bad. And I'm just like, what? Like, look,
he never even did that. That's the thing.
why even bring it up? Like I said, I do not follow the Smash community like that. But like, I was just like, what? How did we get here? Like, I'm like, is he okay? Like, is Haxx having like a mental breakdown? Like, do people need to check on him? Because I think his channel is gone. Because the video's not up anymore. I know that much.
Let me. I'm gonna check if his Twitter is still up, because he also mentioned, like, he also kept talking about the media, which was literally like one person who represents Beyond the Summit, who has gotten all kinds of shit for all kinds of like Summit related things, even though this man is like carried, you know, the Summit like Melee side of things on his back, and you know Melee Summit is a big event now, and they also had like, you know, Melee Ultimate events and shit because of it. And this guy, he kept pointing out this guy Samox, I think is how you say his name, but like, you know, he kept pointing out this guy, and it was like really sad because that dude just, you know, he's just kind of like, I just want to live, bro, you know. And so of course Beyond the Summit put out a formal announcement saying that that Haxx, of course, is banned from, you know, future events. I can't find Haxx's wait, I sent you a link. I'm over here trying to do all this, like, all this shit, and like, you know, I sent you a link to a thread that's on his Twitter account. Yeah, his Twitter account is still up, you know, so there's that. But
because didn't some tournament ban him just now?
Yeah,
Because
Beyond the Summit banned him because he was going to be at Summit, I guess. I think this was going to be like an in-person Summit event. And he was going to be there, and you know, I believe Leffen is also going to be there, and so they're like, you know, for the safety of like Leffen and like other people, because this man is clearly, you know, not
he's out
showing
of the pocket.
that he's out of pocket. He's not. It's not going to be safe to like bring this man into this environment. And so they're like, nah, he's banned. He's banned from all events moving forward. I think it was like indefinitely that he was banned from all of these events, but I'll have to find the tweet first. But yeah, freaking they banned Haxx, and they were like, hey, you know, we're doing what we need to do to make sure that the event is safe. Okay, I have the formal announcement. I'm going to read it. Many people have expressed concerns about the context of Haxx's videos to us. We take the safety of our Smash Summit 11 players and attendees very seriously, and do not condone behavior that encourages harassment or threats towards any of our players or staff. He threatened both. So
yeah, but here's the thing: how do you think this is going to affect like long term stuff? Because I mean, we already know, like, once this whole pandemic thing, you know, passes over, you know, we come back to some sense of normalcy in like 2022 or maybe even 2023. He's definitely going to try to go to more tournaments or go to more events, and you already know where this is going.
Hold on. So one Summit, like he's only being banned from Summit 11. They didn't say like all their events going forward. They only said Summit 11, which means that Summit at the very least right now is going to give him like the leeway of like, maybe he's going through something, and maybe later he'll be, you know, in his right mind again, and he can like come back to events. But with the way that the Smash community as a whole like deals with these types of events, there's probably going to be a committee that gets together and decides whether or not he's going to be allowed at any tournaments, or at the very least any like majors or like big tournaments moving forward. and they're just going to try and like gauge it based on his behavior, all of this evidence that he's putting out, corroborating whether or not he's being like ridiculous or whatever, and probably like his behavior between like now and whenever the next big event is, and see if maybe like he comes out and says that he's like going through a hard time and he needs to like seek help. He's going to seek help, or some shit like that. But yeah, they're definitely going to get some sort of committee together to decide what's going to go on with this dude going forward, because it doesn't seem safe.
Because like the stuff he said, like I don't want to say the word radicalized or talk about fucking Smash Brothers, but we've seen the Smash community. They're not normal. They're a different breed of influence, easily influenced people with very influential individuals. Individuals.
It also seemed like it might be like a little bit racist. Like whenever he was talking about totalitarianism and all this other stuff, and I was like, is he doing that because Leffen is Swedish? It's just very, very odd that he's like using all this rhetoric towards Leffen, specifically, who is a man of European descent from a European country, not from a U.S. country, and using all this stuff that's usually targeted towards people in European countries. So I'm like, I don't understand. It also definitely seems like he went down a rabbit hole, and like he's still in, like his brain is still in that rabbit hole right now. And by the time he gets out, he's gonna be like, oh my God, I said all those things. That's crazy. I was running on like 10 days of no sleep, something, because
yeah, man,
everything that he's saying,
doing all that, bro.
Yeah, it was so confusing how he tried to tie all these like political agendas to the Smash scene, as if somehow the Smash scene as a whole is going to be powerful enough to do all that. Right now, no, especially not the Melee scene. So it's like there's no reason to do all that,
because Haxx's Twitter is SBMM or SSBM Haxx, right? That's him.
Yeah, that's him.
So I don't know if you know this, but there was a tweet that got retweeted onto my feed. That's the reason why I looked into it again yesterday, because he tweeted yesterday, I need to know if anyone at TSM, if anyone other than your player influenced the corruption of the press that occurred this past weekend. Episode 9 of Metagame contained revisionist history that went against what's in my pinned tweet, which is the original Evidence.ZIP thread.
That was the other thing about it. Like, he was also
like, now he's calling out Team Solo Mid, which is a very big multi-million-dollar organization, mind you.
Yeah, you want to do that, big fella.
On their integrity. And look, I'm not saying look, people will say companies don't blacklist people. That's what they have to say. Bullshit. Twitter does it. YouTube does it. Esports organizations do it, and these organizations talk to each other behind the scenes. And look, I am not one that wants to sit here and talk about nepotism or about who you know, but sometimes it's not about just who you know, it's about who knows you.
All right. Also, I do want to say that metagame stuff. So like I did see that like the Metagame Twitch account was like streaming new episodes of the series or whatever, but the problem with like the reactions to that series is that people are, like, for some reason certain people are not really grasping the context that this is a documentary about things that happened like 10 plus years ago. When they talk about these situations, like talking about like Hungrybox, or talking about like Leffen and like Leffen's behavior in the community, or Hungrybox's behavior in the community, Haxx's behavior in the community, all these other things. These are things from like 10 plus years ago. Those people are not like that right now. All right, Haxx is a different dude that from what he was back then. And unfortunately, right now, we're seeing that he's a different dude in a bad way. Leffen is a different dude from what he was back then. And like he literally got banned and was able to learn, like, that maybe he shouldn't be the heel that he was trying to be at that time. Plus, all that shit doesn't matter anymore. Hungrybox is not the same dude that he was back then. He's a more matured man who's.
And if you don't remember, last summer, we found out 85% of the well-known Smash community wasn't the people that you thought they were either.
Exactly. all these
look
people who are
you.
in this documentary are different. Mango has a wife and a kid now. Like he's not the same dude who's just trying to like drink and play Smash, at tournaments or whatever. Like that, it's not the case.
Yeah, his Eagles won a championship. Different man now. Like we are all different people. Well, I would at least hope that many of us are different people than we were, say, 2006,
Hmm.
2011, 2012. I hope that like even if you're the same person, I hope you're a more defined person. Like you found yourself, you're comfortable, and you put 100 on 10 on yourself. And if you haven't found yourself yet, that is also fine. But I hope you're making the journey and a concise effort to get to that point to where you can look yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, that's who I am, and I'm proud. I hope we all get there at some point. But what I'm trying to say is, remember earlier when I said these easily influenced people who are surrounded by people with influence, and that's a very, very terrible situation when a lot of these people haven't lived in the real world and probably never will. Well, there's this Twitter status that is in reference to the tweet that I had read earlier about him calling out Team Solo Mid for their dishonesty and corrupting the media. This guy named Steven Saldivar says, "I respect what you're doing, Haxx. We already live in a dystopian society.
All
We
right, get
shouldn't
that guy
let
out of
the
here.
same thing happen to our Melee community. If we can't even save the Melee community from lies and deceit, then that's pretty sad." And it's just like, you see, these
All
are the
right.
people who are going to be keep poking. They're
This
just
is
going
a
to keep.
blessing in disguise. All right. You just read the blessing part here. Now, because Hacks, posted all of that, like, wild shit, you get to see the people who co sign with that and be like, that guy also, worry about him over there because he shouldn't be. Well, dystopian society, that's who you think. Come on, man. Whoa, watch out for that guy, too. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'll see you at the next tournament, guy. Stay
like
away from me.
like I said, there is a lot of red flags that have been popping up, and not just this community. I mean, there's been plenty of communities
Yeah.
like literally breaking news. Like I saw it on my timeline as I was looking at this. NRS has some more drama going on right now. Apparently,
Oh, boy.
somebody said, "Oh, ever since I picked up top tier Cetrion in MK11, I haven't lost a set yet." Man, you guys are lucky that I'm not a woman. Basically, trying to say if I was a
Wait,
woman,
what?
wait. Basically she's making that age old argument you hear in esports. If I was a woman, y'all would care about my wins. If I was a woman, you guys would be giving me clout and be all up my butt. You know the argument. You've seen it 1,000 times.
Hmm?
If you're in the game, if you're in any gaming climate at all, you've seen it. And that's the argument he's making. And then a female Cetrion player said, "Well, then $100 money match me right now, any amount. Let's go." And then he was like, "You still owe me from the last time that we played." And she's like, "We never even played. Don't even start that. Yada yada yada." Then some dude was like, "All right, I'll host it." And then the dude that was like calling all the women, bad and saying that, you guys are lucky I'm not a woman, said, "I don't want to play on your stream." Basically, they're trying to max clout this, and for some reason, a lot of people
Look,
can't seem to see that.
I'm gonna ask one question, one specific question. You don't have to answer this, but it wasn't Slayer, was it? Because I would feel very upset.
No.
Okay, because I assumed that he learned his lesson from his moment of doing all of that, and then being here. I think it was here in Atlanta where he then lost to Infinity, and yeah, they're all like, yeah, a gaming moment for women everywhere. It's like, look at that guy said women are shit, and then he lost to a woman, crazy, and then he he humbled himself and was like, yeah, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay. To be fair, he never said that women can't be good at the game. He said women
Yeah,
can't make top 8.
top 8, yeah.
He top
And
16, top 20. Like he never like. I'm not trying to say that it was a good argument, because we definitely know that's not the case.
yeah, we're not all saying that. We're just saying
What
that
I'm
man
just saying,
grew from that situation.
there is a difference between saying they can't make top 8 and saying women are only liked in gaming if they look good, and that's the only value that they can bring to the tape. Those are two completely different stratospheres of a misogynist argument. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
One is like, all right, man, simmer down, all right, buddy. And the other one is just like, oh, so you just out here now. You just You just saying all types. You are trying to be inflammatory on purpose in order to garner clout that you wish you had. And
Hey,
unfortunately, just like we've seen in tradition in the FGC, when some positive things are going on, no one shares, no one talks about it, no one bigs it up, no one daps it up. You let
hey,
some
bro.
Johnny random come out you let Johnny 2x416 come out and say some I hate women. All of a sudden, everybody got the time today.
Hey
All
man, don't try that. All right. Look, man. When when that one person gave Maximilian what, like $1,000, there were articles everywhere. Oh my God, Maximilian game streamer, that's $1,000 donation. Crazy. The community is beautiful. You know, like whatever. Right. So
I'm not talking about that. Those are people who are outside the community. I'm not talking about the Kotakus of the world. I'm talking about when we look at the timeline, when we look at the community, like the people who go to the tournaments, very seldomly do I see us celebrating the positive.
hey man, that's because
We
the
give
positive,
all the
like,
attention to the world to the negative stuff.
hey man, that's not true. We celebrate the positives when we see the positives, man. All
Do
right.
we?
Look,
I mean, I
I'll
know
give you a
we
positive
do.
right now. I'll
All
give
right,
you a
cool.
positive right now because this is probably why. This is probably why because like positives are probably like more so like announced and like celebrated like in person at these tournaments and stuff. Like I went to TNS Atlanta last weekend, and TNS Atlanta is run by Tong and the Tampa Never Sleeps like team. And at the tournament, some of the Georgia players who know Tong did get him a gift to commemorate the fact that he has done so much for the Marvel scene, during this tumultuous year, and like he's a staple for the community, and he is appreciated. And so there was a nice moment of like giving that to him. He was on stream, and people were like presenting the gift to him and everything, and it was a very nice and heartfelt moment of like everyone being like, yeah, it's amazing, and then we all like gave him a standing ovation and everything, right? That's probably not going to go like viral or whatever because the people who are there are the people who supported him, or like, yeah, it's a great thing, but they weren't like, yeah, I'm going to post this on Twitter or whatever, because it was about the moment for him, and like appreciating what he did. If it was like some bullshit like that happened, then maybe some people would film it or whatever, be like, can you believe this is going on or whatever, right? That's just our response to shit like that. When bad things are happening, you got to be like, can you believe this crazy bad thing happened here? But if praise is going on, it's like, yeah, that person deserves that. So I'm too busy in the moment praising him to be like, yeah, the Stillman or whatever. Plus, there's a stream clip out there, so like whatever.
Now I get that, but like what I'm saying is that stream clip. Until you said that, I have not seen the stream clip. I have not heard anything about the gift. All I've heard was it was an event that happened, and the people who went had fun. That's it. That's all I knew. It seemed like regular status quo as it's supposed to be. Tournament ran well, very efficient, yada yada, entertaining, great. However,
Well, that's an internet thing, man.
However, when I see some of these people donating to charities and saying that they made donation goals, like unless I'm following the person, like it never gets brought up as like a big thing that the community is like, yeah, look at us, look what we're doing. But you let somebody with like 2 followers just say one inappropriate thing, all of a sudden they're the talk of the timeline, and it's just like, how about we flip the energies on that? That's all I want.
It's not how the internet works, man.
Oh, I know. I wish it was, but I know it's not how it works. That's my point.
I mean,
That's the
that's not how
only point I'm
people
trying to
work.
make.
It's not how people work. Like,
Yes,
because
and we
okay,
we have established
think
on
about
this
this.
stream more times than not, people are trash, and I'm disappointed in all of them. I get
It's
it. All
not
right,
people
man.
are trying. All right, calm down. you're ironically like proving your point more than you think by saying all that. So, look, think about how all of these like brands are trying to put the like pride flag as their like logo and all this shit in order to garner attention to their brand or whatever, right?
Uh huh.
um One of the first times we had like situations like this was when Roy Moore was like running for governor, and I think Hannity like said something about like, yeah, in any community, on any side of the political spectrum, an older man going after a teenage girl is frowned upon. But and then he like tried to like give praise to Roy Moore. So someone was like, hey, sponsor here. I think it was like Keurig or someplace like that or something like that. They're like, hey, are you really going to sponsor this guy who's saying all this? And they're just like, you know what? No, we got you. We're not going to sponsor a guy who would say some nonsense like that. And then, of course, Keurig got more fame because of the fact that there's all these people who are just like, Keurig is terrible. How dare they do that to Hannity? And then it shows them like destroying their like coffee machine in like a video or whatever. Yeah, more people are going to see this video of someone destroying the coffee machine because they're like, you got so mad that you destroyed a coffee machine, instead of being like, wow, that's really amazing. The Keurig is doing the common sense thing of being like, no, that guy right there is an alleged pedophile, and we don't support him or anyone who supports that guy. So GTFO, please.
Look, it's very similar to those situations that we see in sports where a sports person will do something that's necessarily frowned upon. Like, we won't even say illegal. We'll just say something that's frowned upon. And then people
remember the
like,
Nikes?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna burn my Nike cleats, and it's like, for what? You already paid Nike.
Yeah.
What do you they care that you burnt it? Or like,
see,
Colin Kaepernick
we remember that more
knee.
because it has like a bigger like a lasting effect on us, because it's like someone actually like set fire to Nikes because they were that angry, instead of being like, well, there's a guy who was like, hey, I'm gonna make this commercial with Nike to be like, there's some like bad stuff going on and we should like do something about it.
But darn well that would require effort.
Look, man, on the internet, it's negativity that catches people's eyes more than positivity, because positivity is expected to be like the norm or the common thing of like, yeah, of course that person did something good, because people at their core want good things to happen. And
that's
for
what we're
most
all
people,
for.
for most people, yes, they want good things to happen. So like, we're like, yeah, of course that guy, took care of his daughter. That's great. Wait, that guy over there like beat up his daughter? Hold on, what the fuck? And yeah. So like, when it comes to negativity, it spreads because it's like it's less expected from people. Now, if we were just like, yeah, people are shitty all the time or whatever, then it'd be like, hey, that guy's being really nice. This is a very nice moment. And sometimes that kind of thing spreads because we're like depressed that that we're stuck at home dealing with I don't know, celebrities being like, it's not that bad. Look at me in my mansion. Oh, or whatever. Or when the Smash thing happened, it's just like, can any good happen in the Smash scene? And then Nairo came back and was like, look, guys, I've been through a lot, and just wanted to say that I'm just really happy that you guys will allow me to grace you or whatever. And people are like, Nairo's back, oh my god, that guy's amazing, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at first they were like, hey, he's awful, and then they're like, oh, he's not awful.
Well, like I said, a lot of these things, I feel like, I always say consider your sources, because a lot of the stuff, a lot of these people, like, they read the Reddit thread and said, this is the law, this is the Bible, and it's like,
exactly.
I'm not going to give you a number or a percentage, but we found out in a lot of those cases, in some cases, it was an issue that was literally a molehill that got blown up into a mountain, and then in some cases, it was what we thought was like, okay, that's kind of weird, and they were like, oh no, that, sir, madam, that is illegal. So we've seen it in both ways. We've seen the duality of it all, and in a lot of cases, most of the stuff that was reported wasn't even accurate. In some cases, the timeline was wrong. Also, is Sky Williams in jail yet? Has anyone...
I think I saw something recently and Sky Williams was in it, and I was just like, yeah, what are they like? What's happened to that guy? Because like he I don't know. It seems like he just somehow got off scot-free, and he was involved in a lot of these situations because they're happening in his home, and he's just kind of like, I don't know, officer, I was looking that way when it happened and it was over there. And it's like, wait, hold on, in your house, like you didn't hear it? And it's just like, officer, I was outside. And it's like, all right, somebody needs to do something about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, he's probably like laying low, or hopefully it's not something worse where he's going to come out with some legal statement that says, you guys don't understand, someone did something to me, and that's what, and everything else is a lie, everything else is a smear campaign, they're all against me,
Well,
you
you gotta.
see, and I'm going to, sue them all for talking shit about me on the internet.
All right, so basically, after that tweet that he made last year, when it all happened about his 90-minute statement and yada yada yada, that's the last tweet he made. He has not been on Twitter for almost a whole year now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You know what that was followed by, though?
What was that? The
There's a
dump.
certain other person in the
Oh.
community who did the same thing, and then when they came back, we were like, oh yes, and then they're going to take account, what the hell is this, huh?
Yeah,
A
you
legal statement.
Yeah, that was weird. I know we talked about it a few episodes ago, but when Senpai came back to make the statement of, I will not have you guys slandering my name anymore, you have all been served, and like it was like a picture of a legal statement from their lawyer about how you are all will be sued into the ground. You've been warned, and then just pieced out again. It was just like, what is going on here? Do
Yeah,
you
can
know?
you imagine being the lawyer who has like this woman walk into this room and be like, look, I want to sue all these people on the internet for saying all these horrible things about something that they have like video proof that I was doing or whatever, but and they're like, yeah, I'm on board with you, don't worry, I'll draft up I'll draft up a document right now. Oh, must have charged her the big bucks for that.
I just,
I don't understand it, man. I don't understand.
I've never understood it either. I really don't understand. And the last tweet that she made was, I understand that this statement combined with the widespread misinformation is confusing, but please be patient as this is settled and the truth comes out. Everything I said is directly involved. So apparently, she's claiming her innocence? Question mark?
Yeah, she's claiming her innocence and claiming her innocence based on a situation where she was assaulted, which
By some
shouldn't be.
by apparently like a community member is what we're assuming. It could be
Look,
literally anybody.
yeah, it could literally be someone who's already out of the community because they've been outed for like having that same kind of behavior towards like other people, and it's just like, yeah, no, we already took care of that guy. So what are you saying?
Shit, it could be Sky Williams.
Well, look, to my knowledge, Sky Williams wasn't out here doing things. He was just like,
But he had people locked up in his own house. Like,
right, yeah, he was a huge narcissist, which you could see that a fucking mile away with that person. But like, literally, like he was a narcissist, and his behavior was like, indicative of that narcissism, and so. Also, other shit was happening in his place, but he was too busy. Like, why are you guys not giving me attention? What are you talking about right now?
so, like, once I said, it'll be interesting to see how this deck of cards topples over and what suit turns up where. But man, it's been quite the bumpy road that we've followed to this point. I will tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
But all things are not doom and gloom, ladies and gentlemen, because we have some game announcements that have come out over the past couple of hours, past couple of days. As you know, Elden Ring looks sick, but it also at the same time looks like more From Software, just from softwaring again. But it seems like this might be their latest and greatest. Looks good, is interesting, has some really cool concepts, and ultimately, people have been like having fantasies about the headcanons that they were developing about this game that could potentially exist that they weren't sure would exist.
Yeah.
And now that they're getting it, so they're really excited. Personally, once again, I'd say it's just like From Software just being in their element and just going to bring you another good, solid title. Now, it does look like Dark Souls meets Phoenix Rising meets Shadow of the Colossus because it looks like a Dark Souls game with a much grander scope. And you guys know how I like games with bigger, more grandiose stakes and, larger scopes and, larger than life environments, So obviously, I would be all in on that standpoint. Then we got Tiny Tina's
Well,
Wonder. Oh, go on. You have something to say?
yeah, I just realized, like, the big hype about Elden Ring was that George R. R. Martin was like, like writing for this. It's like, oh, the writer of Game of Thrones is, in all of that, and seeing the trailer seeing the trailer for Elden Ring, nothing really in there that made me think, yeah, um, George R. R. Martin, like his stamp is definitely on this. There's not really any like story elements really like pushed in that trailer to show that like his writing has anything like miraculous coming out here. Mostly what you saw was the FromSoft like touch on that.
Hey, you saw the
Like
FromSoft
FromSoft,
touch, big monsters, swords,
right?
magic. Like you just saw like,
Rolling
ooh, it looks pretty. Like it looks like a AAA great gaming experience, but like
and magic.
as far as like writing, like no, there was nothing in there that really had that stamp of approval of yes, deep lore like that. I never got hit by that. Then another trailer came out for another game, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Now, as you guys know, as I've said before, especially if you guys watch the Con Stories video, Borderlands is not a game that I've played, so this has done nothing for me. Now, you, I believe, have played Borderlands, so Tiny Tina's Wonderland, what did you think?
Okay. Tiny Tina is from Borderlands 2. Tiny Tina has a very like tragic backstory that you find out through a bunch of side quests that basically like her parents knew that there was some sort of oncoming doom that was about to happen. I forget what it was. I think they were like getting attacked by like animals, or like Handsome Jack was like coming to kill them or something like that. But basically her parents like sacrificed themselves to save Tina, and then Tina was like raised out in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
So Tina is this like very, very like odd and eccentric like girl who develops all kinds of like weapons and things and whatnot, and people immediately saw her as like this really, really adorable character, and then they find out a backstory and they're like, oh my god, you have to protect her or whatever. So this seems like they what is it, 2K Gaming took that love for the character, and they added it to Borderlands 3. People saw her, oh, Tiny Tina's here, whatever, and then they make this spin-off that's all about like things that happen in her imagination, and then like Borderlands lore mixed in there. Allegedly it's not going to necessarily be like a looter shooter like the Borderlands games, and it has like a very fantasy-esque style from what they shown. Like they literally showed a dragon, they showed someone doing magic. She comes in on a freaking like unicorn. Like it seems like it might be some kind of like RPG. So I don't know. I need to see more to know. I'm not going to look for it. It's not for me. Um, I like the character, but I don't like Borderlands enough to be like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy that like frame one. I have to see more to figure out whether or not it's that's the case. So I mean, it's a great announcement for the Borderlands lore and people who are like lore monsters about Borderlands. This is just like a one-off sort of thing. I was gonna say it's kind of like the Miles Morales game for Spider-Man, but I think it's less important than that. It's just like a fun thing.
Ultimately, look, does it look
Yeah,
like it could be cool? Sure. Looks like it could be interesting. I don't care. I
yeah,
don't
I
care.
haven't seen enough.
But if
It's
any
just
of
like a teaser.
But if any of you are interested in Borderlands, maybe this is something you could be looking out for. Because I've talked to a couple of people since that trailer dropped. And they didn't even know the trailer dropped, and I know they're big Borderlands heads. So, maybe, if you're in the comment section, you're a big Borderlands person, maybe you now have something that you can look forward to coming out. Actually, I'm not going to say when, because I definitely don't think they told us when.
Yeah, they didn't.
So even pushing past that, we saw some of the early reviews coming in for the Ratchet and Clank game, and it seems like nobody has anything to worry about. Seems like it's a solid experience throughout. But as we've seen before, a lot of these journalists who get early copies of things don't want to lose their access. So sometimes you got to take these early reviews with a grain of salt. But I mean, it's Ratchet and Clank. Outside of the one that became the movie, I don't think there's an issue with that series, is there? Like, has
Um,
Ratchet and Clank ever been bad?
I think like one or two towards the like end were considered to be bad, but like Ratchet and Clank, it's Ratchet and Clank all like with all these games. So I think the only thing that would be bad is like the story, which personally don't care about. But this, the story for this new game seems interesting enough. It's gonna be Ratchet and Clank, and it's gonna be pretty. So if you're like a diehard Ratchet and Clank fan, you're gonna love the game. If you're not, then it's 50-50.
I see. I see. Well, wasn't there one game that was just the stitching of the movie?
Yeah, the Ratchet and Clank like reboot, which I think was the last Ratchet and Clank game to come out before this new one that's coming out tomorrow, I believe. So that one was just the movie. Like that game was just the movie, and the movie literally had footage from that game.
Yeah, so it's really just kind of a big meh. It's a big meh burger. But
Yeah,
like I don't think the game itself was like bad. Like I didn't see anybody like flipping out about the game being like dog shit or
right. It's like the first two are really, really good, and then everything else afterwards is like, okay, this is okay.
it
Whatever.
didn't go down the weird route of some of those Crash Bandicoot games.
Oh, geez.
Like we know it got a little crazy with that one. But hey, the last game that they got about time, man, boy, great, great. They really finessed that one, so to speak.
Yeah.
But that's not all the announcements we have because as we already know, tomorrow is the day. People have been playing it on PS4 for the past 3 days, but tomorrow, oh man, I'm going to be streaming a lot of Guilty Gear Strive. We're going to get to know some people with Eno. We're going to be able to frame trap people with Geo. And then at the end of the day, when we just don't want to play neutral anymore, we're just going to play Potemkin and Hammer Fist and Hammer Fall our ways into some W's. Let me knock on
Yeah.
wood because I have the PC version. And let's be honest. As we've seen with certain Arxis published games, it's not always necessarily the smoothest experience on the first 2 days of the game on PC.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, the netcode's real good. And you know what I'm saying, man?
And some people may say, then why did you get it on PC? Look, on PS4 right now, there's literally nothing else that I would even play. Like I wouldn't I'm not playing for PlayStation Plus just to play one game online. Like that's stupid.
Hey, but you get Virtual Fighter for free this month, man. You can play that.
The game that been out for a decade and a half, no thanks. That game came out in
Hey, bro, it's
2006.
using the Dragon Engine. Didn't you play Yakuza 6 and Yakuza 7? Come on, man. It's like a new game.
All right, man. Listen, it was bro. This is even the first re-release I had because you're right. It isn't the Yakuza game.
You're right. Oh my god, that's right. Final Showdown is in Yakuza 7 and Yakuza 6. So yeah, all right.
So like let's not act like this is some new tech that we've discovered here. Now, granted, it's nice to see the graphics touched up and that type of thing, but ultimately, it's still Virtua Fighter 5. It's a more polished version of the game that we had in '06 that I think has had 3 renditions afterwards. Let's see. You had Virtua Fighter 5, I think it was like 5R. Then there was
Yeah.
Final Showdown, then Ultimate Showdown, and then come on guys, you know the vibes. If I didn't care about it the second time, the third time, the fourth time, and if you count Yakuza the fifth and sixth time, what makes you think I'm gonna care about it the seventh time this game is fell into my lap? All right. Because here's the thing: a lot of people who are talking about here's the thing. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that you can't like Virtua Fighter. I'm just saying that I don't care for it personally. The thing I don't understand though is all these people who claim to be Virtual Fighter experts randomly out of nowhere, who I know ain't play Virtual Fighter 1 through 5, ain't play 5R, ain't play Vanilla 5, ain't play 5 Final Showdown, ain't even played Virtua Tennis. And now apparently they know everything there is about Virtua Fighter and why you shouldn't buy it. Like that's weird to me. Because there's definitely been some people on YouTube who are like, yeah, man, I've been a big fan of the Virtua Fighter series for a long time, yada, 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 so on and so forth. And this game is bad. Like, this game isn't even worth it. And then, they want to talk about not having rollback netcode, yada, yada, so on and so forth. But it's just like, so where were y'all through this entire series? Because to this point, this is the first time I'm even sure that your mouse have said the syllables virtu, and next to each other. But, I
Man,
digress.
Virtual Fighter, it needs the respect, bro. Like it needs everything that all these other fighting games like Street Fighter and Guilty Gear getting, man. It deserves it. So the Sega will bless us with a true sequel to the game, or
Look, here's the
maybe
thing.
they'll bless us with a DOA game that has Virtual Fighter characters again. I don't know.
Here's the thing. By the time I ever played Virtual Fighter, I want to say it was either 2 or 3. It was a game that I was like having fun just pushing buttons on, but it was never a game that my brain ever decided to develop. Man, let's learn this. Because back then, like online, like come on now, like that wasn't like really a thing at that point. Like we had arcade machines for Virtua Fighter 4 at like Dave and Buster's, and like yeah, that was fun, but it was just another 10-year-old that I was also throwing the hands with. We were just throwing like sweeps and like not like those long 16-page move lists that they got over there. We used probably like the first 3. That's it. We used based buttons. Maybe a command normal or two, but like specials, like, the DPs, any sort of like, what was it? It's not quick step. What is it called? The evade, the evade,
Sidestep?
the evade sidestep. And we didn't even get to the part about like if you grab someone during the evade, you get the 0 frame grab in inescapable situations that you had in Virtua Fighter 3. Like they took that out of 4, but like the fact of the matter
Yeah.
is like the game itself was fine. It was cool. But I never learned it, so like I never really felt connected to it. Same reason why I love Dead or Alive 3 and didn't like 4. I don't even think that much changed between the two games. But 3 just had this whole thing where I was playing it on the couch, playing with the homies, playing that 5v5 mode. You pick 5 characters, I pick 5 characters, and just like goofing off, throwing people into the electric cage, getting like wall break combos. Remember when you kick them out the tower in Japan, and then they would fall down the electric sign? Like, oh man, it was just great. Interactables, right?
Boy, 3 was the one where they're like, man, what if we put interactables in this fighting game? And they went ham on that.
Like you kick somebody down the avalanche, or no, that might have been Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate.
It's 3.
Okay, that's 3. Because I know in Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate, they also brought it was basically on 3's engine, but it was the 2 roster and 2 story, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I really like Dead or Alive 2 and 3. 4 came out, and it wasn't the same.
4 is the one that the a lot of people didn't like. And then like the secret character, like the Spartan was in the game and stuff, and people were like, what is this? This is trash. It's not even Master Chief, whatever. Like 4 is the one that,
Like
that was the least popular.
It was Rachel, right? No, Nicole. Huh? Nicole.
Yeah.
Let me look it up. But go on.
Sure, it was Nicole. But yeah. So 5 is the one that really like revitalized the series, but there was also like a lot of like breathing room in between 4 and 5. So like when 5 came out, that's when people were going ham on DOA again, and then there was the whole DLC thing, and then they were like, well guys, sorry, but we're never gonna have another DOA game again. We're done. And then like 2 months later, they came out with 6, and we're like, what's this? And then it came out the gate with the DLC stuff and all the bullshit with the costumes, and boy, well, that game is dead.
Yeah, like 4 was a bit weird, and the fact that like that was like my first experience with trying to do any online fighting game experience. It's just I don't know. It's fighting games are a lot different when you're playing online as opposed to like when you could see the person you playing. Especially if the
Right.
person that you're playing and you could see is already the homie. You know what I'm saying? It's very different. Like when we play Guilty Gear Strive, when we were playing the beta, those were some of the
Yeah.
best matches that we had. It was just fun.
Right.
When you're playing with these randoms, like now, like look, dude, y'all have seen me stream enough fighting games and know how I feel about when I'm playing against randoms, especially ones that do not have good internet connections. But once again, we'll keep it PG and we won't go down that dark road. We won't go there just yet. But yeah, Strive is coming out tomorrow. It's gonna be weird because we're gonna be watching the story mode because to my knowledge,
I hate that.
it's similar to Xrd where there is no gameplay in the story. So
Yep.
like I think what we're going to do is we're going to start off streaming, labbing the characters, learning stuff, doing matches, and then I think after that, like around probably like 6 p.m. or whatever, I think we're like just have 2 hours to kill. Then we'll just have a watch party and watch the story mode together, guys. I think that'd be a really good way to really bring the whole experience together. Now, I am upset that what we saw in the trailer that Jacko is in the story but isn't in the game.
Oh boy, something that I am very upset about because I really like that character. All right, that's the
Wait, wait,
character.
wait,
That's
wait,
the
wait,
first
wait.
character I played in Xrd. All
And
right.
some people say that Jacko has been quote unquote leaked as DLC.
Season pass is out, so it's possible, but that doesn't make me less upset. Like, look, I actually hate fighting games that automatically announce a season pass that have characters in the season pass when it's like, okay, the base roster is here. This is the base roster. See, guys, this is all we really had the time to like put into the game character wise, and we're like really putting our foot in here, and we're changing characters and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, but like 5 months from now, we're also going to add a new character, and it's just like, why didn't you just look? I would have waited if you put the 5 characters that are announced as DLC or whatever in the game at launch, because that would give me like more variety and shit like that. And also, there's like a better shot of like a favorite being in that roster. Like right now, I'm sticking with Kai. I love Kai as a character in all Guilty Gear games. That'll always be like the default character that I like flow to. Everyone else, I don't like, I don't feel that connection with. And that's part of why I'm not buying the game at launch. I'm waiting. I don't want to see like what the DLC is and stuff first, because I didn't. I think I bought Xrd.
Mm-hmm.
Then when Rev 1 came out, I didn't really play it very much. Or no, I bought Xrd later. I didn't buy Xrd at launch. I waited. I bought Xrd, and then I played it around the time Rev 1 was coming out. So the Rev 1 upgrade came out, and then they announced like free DLC with like Dizzy and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And after that, Rev 2 came out, and Rev 2 was worth it because of like how they handled the game,
I'm only
coming
sad
up to
about
that.
one thing. Given how this game is, Bedman just seems like he would be so sick in this game.
Right.
You Bedman with let me stop.
It doesn't make sense.
With Dash Roman cancels that we got, man. Bedman would be sick. Bro, if Bedman is DLC, I'll play this game for a long time. Because my experience with Guilty Gear is kind of similar to yours. I bought Guilty Gear Sign, or Xrd Sign, played it a bunch, played it with my friends, and then like I want to say about maybe 4 or 5 months into it, it wasn't that we got bored. It was just that a lot of us played other things. There was a lot of games that were out at that time, so we were playing other things, and then Guilty Gear just kind of started falling down the list of games that we played. Then they were like, Xrd Rev, and I was like, oh, see, if I got mad at Capcom for doing this nonsense with their Super Street Fighter V and their 2012 and Arcade Edition, why the fuck would I do this for this game that has already fallen down the list? So I didn't even play Rev 1. I just like, whatever, you got it. And once again, this is very similar to Blaze Blue, because Blaze Blue came out with Continuum Shift. Then they came out with Continuum Shift 2, which I believe was a free update.
PS2
And
was a free update.
and
Yeah,
then they made Continuum Shift Extend. It was like, no, buy another game. And I was like, nah.
that pissed me
I
off.
was like, nah, I'm good. I'm tired of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not gonna also have like a whole brand new set of things, then like I'm not doing it. You're not gonna do me like that. Like that would be like if Ultimate Mortal Kombat 11 was Mortal Kombat 11, but you had to buy another disc to play it.
Right.
Like that, nah, that wouldn't have flown with me.
Oh,
And here's the
Aftermath
thing,
and all that. Yeah.
I wouldn't even. Here's the thing, I didn't even buy Aftermath or Ultimate. The stream bought those for me.
I
If
actually
I
don't
if
own a
I
copy
had
of
to,
Ultimate
if I
at the
had
free
to buy
upgrade.
those out of my own paqueto, would have never happened, bro. I would have never played Rain. Well, no, I would have bought Rain. I probably bought Rain by himself. But if they were like
Right.
in a brand new separate game that was just Mortal Kombat 11 plus, probably would have just dropped the game a year and a half before I dropped the game. Like it would have just been what it had to be.
Look, man, I bought Sindel and I bought Melina because those are two characters that I actually wanted to have in that series, and I still don't play the game very much. So
So I'm telling you right now, if Strive comes out with a like, if it's like Guilty Gear Strive, Revengeance or some shit like that, and like I gotta buy another game, I'm telling you right now, I'll never buy it.
I'm telling you right now, I don't care about the Guilty Gear story anymore because of how ridiculous it's gotten. And like, watching the Exert story, like the more and more I watched it, I was like, the more I was just like, I don't like what is even going on here? Why is Justice like 30 feet tall? Like, I don't like what is any of this? Who are those people? Why do they look like Q? What is any of this happening here? Frederick's a scientist? All right. And now they're doing the same thing where it's like you got to watch the story, but like the story always has characters that are a lot more interesting than like what you have in your base roster. Jacko is in the story. I think Raven.
That happy chaos guy looks sick.
Yeah, exactly. And this always happens with Guilty Gear and its stories. We saw that man, as like some ghoulish figure. It's like, okay, I get that that's not a character in the story, but who is this Raven guy over here? Like, that's a full character design.
I will say, Blaze Blue. Okay, I'm gonna say all the way up till Continuum Shift 2. And what was the game after that? Was it Phantasma or?
Yeah, it was Chrono Phantasm.
Phantasma. And then what was the last one? No, Central Fiction.
Central Fiction is the last one.
Okay. So I will say up till Chrono Phantasma. When it came to introducing characters and then they were immediately playable in the next game, they probably did it the best.
Yeah.
If you're excluding like really old titles like Mortal Kombat 2 and like Street Fighter 2. Because like you would see a character like, oh, that looks kind of sick as a concept, or a secret fight, and then they were in the next game. That was always kind of cool. But seeing them in the story, you're like, yo, who is this? Why they got that? Like, you're seeing Valkenhayn, and it was like, Valkenhayn or Helsing playable, and you're just like, sick!
That was like the reason to buy those like newer games though, like because it was like, who is this Valkenhayn guy? Wow, he looks really dope. And then like they announced the next game. It's like that Valkenhayn dude. He's in the game and he's a fucking werewolf. Isn't this amazing? And it's like, yeah, actually, yeah.
Bro, you really like that SpongeBob character. This is what we've been waiting for.
Now, like Guilty Gear does it in like an awful way because they're like, hey, watch the story that you're not interacting with at all. It's this character. They're in like one scene. All right, well, that's done. Also, story-wise, Ramlethal is there. Elfelt is not. But
No.
what, didn't Elfelt like sacrifice herself in Exert, or am I getting that wrong?
I believe she did something to that effect, but you want to know what gets me? Like, just completely confuses my brain.
What?
Because she sacrificed herself, like, I think she subjugated herself to capture. I don't think, like, she blew up or anything like that.
Yeah, because I remember a happy ending of them being like, yeah, sister, we learned a lesson. The humans are great, or some bullshit like that. And it was like, there's still more to do.
Yeah, but the thing that I don't understand is, like, how dare you introduce me to characters like Sin and Bedman? and they just take them away, bro.
That's what I'm talking about.
And
Sin is a dope character design. Kai Kisuke's son with Dizzy? What?
yo, Sin with the stick, bro. Like my man had the stick talk, and you take him away. And
Raised by Soul, bad guy? Like, come on.
Then you have
Come
Raven,
on.
and you take him. Like, I never even played Raven, but the character undeniably looked sick and could do cool things.
Yeah.
Now, I'm look. Trust me. Given how Roman cancels work in this game, I do not want to see that man throw the needle at me and then YRC and then get a mix. I don't want to hold that. All right, I'll admit that. But stop introducing these super sick characters. Now you may be saying, but what about Elfelt? Look, if y'all didn't play Sign in the early
Y'all are
days,
so mad about Elfelt. Look, man, you can make her different.
No. What I'm saying is, look.
I know you're not saying that, but that's like the main thing.
I'm not glad that she's gone, because she should definitely be in the game. I mean, come on, man. The Valentines are kind of like the thing right now.
Yeah.
She should definitely be in the game. She should definitely be playable. But, like, she wasn't always that stupid. They changed her in the later games and patches. But I understand if you have PTSD from Sign Elfelt, I get it.
Right. She was still strong by the end of Rev 2, but Sin was also strong.
Yeah, but she wasn't.
Slayer was.
But she wasn't that stupid at the end of Rev 2.
Design is still dope. Her sister is in the game. Like, what? Also, Justice has not been in a game since Accent Core. so like. Oh, Cliff is gone. Zappa is gone. Jam came back, luckily. And was it Rev 1? Rev 2? I think it was Rev 1. Like, there's all these characters that have been into the games who are nowhere to be found. And, like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why is Zappa gone? Why is Bridget gone? I don't understand. Why is Johnny always just not a launch character anymore? Like, May is there and Johnny is not. That's confusing to me. May is there, Johnny is not, and Dizzy is not. Dizzy, okay, whatever. Dizzy's locked up,
locked up, and they won't let them out.
It's a weird story arc in and of itself. Dizzy just being locked away because they're like, she's too dangerous. But then when she shows up, it's like, she's fine. She's literally fine. Hello? But we can get Leo to come back. Look, man, I don't know about you, but if I see like a man with his back turned, like with this stance, like backing up, I'm like, that's the scariest thing ever, man. In any fighting game. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, what is he doing? What's he about to do?
Nah, bro. What kills me is that man hits you with a sick combo and then he stops and he's just backing up, bro.
Exactly.
And then he puts that big shield up and you go to the moon in the GGs? Nah, man. I don't want that in my life. That's a level of disrespect I need not see.
I don't know. When it comes to Strive, I feel like it's not complete yet. Like, it's in its beginning stages, which it's fine.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that bothers me. When I look at the UI, I hear everything that you're saying about incomplete, but it almost looks like it's made to have its own rev. Like, this looks like we're getting a sign and that there will be a rev.
Yeah, everything about it points like that to me. That's why I'm so like.
And if that happens,
I can wait.
And if that, like, I will have to genuinely fall in love with this game, like to a point of like, I'm in here like swimwear all day, every day, all the time. It's gonna have to get to that point for me to even consider buying a the Rev counterpart for Strive. If it's just a game I like, I will not be getting the follow up.
Yeah.
Because, like, look.
I agree with that.
These games are getting to be $60, $70 plus, playing for PSN. And the PlayStation 4, not saying it's a dead console, but it's definitely ran its course for my gaming tastes. Nobody's dropping that heat for the PS4 that's not already coming to PC.
Yeah, that's a fact now.
So, like, I'll just go ahead and get it on PC. And here's the thing. I've noticed that the first version, like, The first version of a lot of these fighting games, when they come out for PC, PS4, and all the consoles, the PC version does really well on the first one. It's when you get to like the Revs and the Rev 2s we're playing on PC, you unless you're in a Discord, you ain't finding nothing.
I always just get reminded of what is it, MKX, where was it MKXL came out on console and then it didn't come out on PC for like the longest time. It's like it's just weird.
Did it? I don't remember when MKXL came out on PC.
I remember distinctly asking you if they like ever released the final version of MKXL on PC because I remember like the problem of like them not doing that and you confirming that they did eventually release it on PC, but people were waiting for a while.
No, it was definitely some months. Because I remember it being out, and then I remember seeing a couple of articles that were just like, so there's a Steam entry for MKXL, but it's going to be a few months.
Right. And that's messed up for PC players because, they're also trying to play this game and take it seriously, but you're like forcing them not to, forcing them to buy it on console, which most PC players don't.
Oh, wait. Here we go. This is what happened. So January 2016, MKXL came out, right?
Right.
PC had got literally nothing since Combat Pack 1.
There we go.
And then in 2016, Ed Boon ran a poll on Twitter, which resulted in 45% of the 10,000 voters saying that they wanted MKXL for PC. After it ended, he posted the results suggesting that there would be acted upon. Shortly after, an online beta was officially released on August 25th, 2016, as a free-to-play title on Steam to test the enhanced netcode, which lasted till September 2016, yada, yada, yada. And then, coinciding with the release of XL for PC, the XL pack was announced for existing owners of the game, which provides all the DLC in a single package, yada, 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 yada. So, they didn't get it for... Like, they literally went from Jason Combat Pack to XL.
Exactly. And by then, those people either switch to console or they just stop playing the game.
Facts. You also remember, these ports were made by High Voltage. They were the ones who were in charge of that. And as we all know, High Voltage is low quality. So I just want y'all to know that when I saw High Voltage was doing it, that's why I didn't get those games on PC. That is the specific reason I went out of my way to make sure I did not get those games on PC. Funnily enough, though, I do have Injustice Gods Among Us on PC.
I forgot there was a PC version of that game.
Yep, I am one of the people that own it. Hey, how you doing? Actually, maybe I should stream that someday, because apparently people could still find games on PS4.
Yeah, because of that revitalization when they released it for free on. Yeah, they were just like, hey, it's free. Play it, please. Hey, what about 2? Nah, don't worry about it.
Nah, man, 2? Nah, not 2. Nah, baby. But yeah, that aside, community effort Orlando has hit its caps for all of its games and spectators, so everyone's really happy about that. Everyone's jumping up and down and excited. Seems the FGC is 100% ready to go as it pertains to getting back to live in-person events, because
I will say this,
they've been mad thirsty for
real quick, because to my knowledge, CEO is still like in the same area that it was in the last time it happened. And so it might experience some similar problems because, Florida people are going to be Florida people over there. So, be careful out there. Don't, stray too far into the areas with the crazies, because this is Florida. Again, this is Florida. So, Florida people, especially
well, this one isn't in Daytona.
Orlando.
This one is in Orlando. The other one was in
Orlando.
Daytona.
Okay. All right. Then scratch whatever I said. Orlando should be fine. Then again, I don't know. Orlando might also be close to some like the more racist areas or some of the more like crazier areas. But hopefully CEO this year is going to go really well, because CEO has already hit its cap for so many tournaments, including Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. which is really dope. I believe these caps are in place because of COVID restrictions and making sure that people are going to be safe, because all it takes is one Shuby walking into the building and infecting somebody, and we got another problem.
I mean, you've heard about
So,
what's happening on eBay with CEO, right?
no, actually.
People who got in are now putting their registrations on eBay, saying, "Hey, if you want to go, it'll be 150, 180 bucks to get the spot."
Look at that, man. The hustle. Always, always. It's like, I'm not going to win the tournament, but hey, I'm going to make money off of it.
But here's the thing, though. In order to transfer your account, you're gonna have to talk to Jabali, and yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So, good luck.
y'all gonna be bodied in a minute.
Or you're going to have to go in somebody else's name.
Yep. And it's like, all right, show me your ID for the money. Uh-oh. Hold this L. And trust me, that's an L that I don't think a lot of y'all are gonna have to hold, and I don't think y'all want to hold it.
Right.
But yeah, CEO seems to be doing well, so maybe this is a good sign for future tournaments like Dragon Con, MomoCon. Big E's got a couple events, Summer Jam and NEC. So maybe everybody gonna be eating at this table, so to speak. Maybe just a little bit. DreamHack Atlanta is apparently coming back next year, so it seems like
Next year.
yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna
That
have
makes
a
sense.
lot of things on our plate. Southern Fried Gaming Expo, and we're getting a new con here in Georgia called Animanga Atlanta.
The fuck?
Yeah, Animanga is a thing that exists in there's a California one, and there's one somewhere else. Can't escape me off the top of my head, but yeah, we're getting one in Atlanta next year. That's apparently going to be in July. So yeah, the con slate is really going to be picking up. It seems like a lot of people are backing out of the game, and many people are coming to be chomping at the bit to take their place. Also, Seishun Khan made a tweet saying we were the best con in Atlanta of 2020. I'm like, man, y'all go, man.
Oh shit! All right, well, you can't lie there.
There's a big asterisk there, but it's not a lie. It is not a lie.
It
And
did happen.
and speaking of asterisks, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but hackers breach Electronic Arts, stealing
Ooh.
game source code and development tools. And currently, they are investigating a recent incident of the intrusion into their network, where a limited amount of game source code and related tools were stolen, and they had to deal with matchmaking, like algorithms and development kit tools for FIFA 2021 and the next game that is coming out next year, FIFA 22. And it's just like, it just goes to show you that none of these big corporations are safe. Like, anybody can get this work from a hack group. Anybody. Nobody is immune. That's why you need to have top men and women in your security divisions in order to stop these things from happening, or at the very, very least, do what they can to stop the bleeding when they eventually inevitably happen. And it seems like they just lost a little bit, but the matchmaking, like, a lot of people have been dying to see what EA does for their matchmaking, because it's not just about FIFA. People could probably extrapolate that data and pull, we'll say guesstimations of how SBMM is calculated, what you can do, and how it relates to games like Apex Legends, how it relates to Knockout City and other games that their sub companies and publishers and developers might have at their disposal. So these is something that, like, I would say has high market value. I'm not saying that they'd sell it, but would we really be shocked if some of the matchmaking schematics just somehow appeared in a Reddit thread at some point?
It would not be shocking at this point because of the fact that they've gotten hacked. But also, I don't know. It feels like this is I feel like this is the second time I've heard of something like this happening to EA. Who knows if they're gonna actually shell out the money for better security to prevent this kind of thing from happening. From what I read, this is mainly targeted at FIFA and FIFA 21 and FIFA 22. So it's possible that someone got pissed off about The loot boxes, my team, all of the ways that they've been handling the FIFA games recently, and they're just like, these guys are really not changing it, and they want me to pay money. Nah, they're gonna learn a lesson. Like
Oh
something is
no,
gonna
not
happen.
like this.
Something is going to happen. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some of this information, just got out there in the ether. EA is probably going to try to sue some people, even though I think they're still having like legal issues because of their loot box nonsense. Um, it's up in the air. Like EA needs to do something about their security because people have gotten a hold of source code for some of their like very very like popular video games, and that's not good. Like you're gonna have somebody making like Fafa, and it's gonna make like $10 billion or something like that because it's just gonna have FIFA's code and do everything except for like have loot boxes or something.
I like how Steam just decided it was going to yell at me just now. That's really what I wanted to hear, Steam. Appreciate that.
Bro, you're not playing your games right now. What are you doing?
No, it's just like it just went did. I was like, yo, come on, baby, not like this. But it be like that sometimes when it be like that. But yeah, think that's about gonna be it. We're at the 2 hour mark now, so I think we're gonna go ahead, pass the microphone off to the Shadow Realm, and see you guys next week. As always, remember to have a good set of games and even better day. And remember to check out our streams at the respective links in the video description below.
And
And well, go ahead. Go ahead.
I did release a new video.
Okay, talk
So,
to him. What it's
that
about.
is out there. The first episode of the Internet Was a Mistake series is out. All right. And it's about Twitch. So, I ironically, I like finished editing the video right before they made their announcement where they were basically like, hey guys, yeah, about that DMCA stuff, yeah, we also have a problem with that. We've been contacting these companies and been like, hey guys, can you stop like making those claims against us, because we're trying to like figure out a way to fix this, and they just won't answer us. So hey, it's not on us, guys, it's on them. They won't listen. We want to help you too.
Well, yeah, give that video a watch. I'll put that link to the video in the description. Just send it over.
Yeah, I'll send you the video. It's on my YouTube page. Subtle Fraudulence on YouTube, Subtle Fraudulence on Twitch, Subtle Fraud on Twitter. Follow me in all these places, and you'll get updates on new videos going forward. And also, I have a TikTok now, so
You
if
said
you
that with
wanna,
all the depression I said it with. Man,
bro, look. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do at this point. Like TikTok is where you're gonna get the interaction. Like I posted one video and got like 500 plus views on that video. That is like within 2 days. That's where people are, and that's where people are getting exposed to things, because the platform is like, here, watch this right now, instead of just hiding something and being like, hey, creator, pay me some money and I'll be like, hey bro, do you like this? I mean, I heard you like video games. You want to watch this video over here? No? I mean, well, I tried. Anyways, give me my $20, please.
I did everything I could.
So yeah, the Internet Was a Mistake. The series is now out. So check it out. I'll be trying to do more with that. Hey, maybe your boy Kizrin might show up on an episode.
Hey
You
man,
never know.
everything is possible in 2020.
Oh yeah.
Everything is possible in 2021. Nothing is possible in 2022. But yeah, I'm definitely down. No doubt. Also, shout outs to Andrea. She somehow conned me into playing some Fortnite. I played my first few games of Fortnite, and I
Oh,
gotta
how was
say,
that, buddy?
that game was as dog shit as I thought it would be going into it. And man, I want my time back. But it was always nice hanging out with the homie, because I don't get to hang out with her very often. I think the last time we played a game was like Apex Legends, like in like midsummer 2020. It's been at least a year. So at least we got some gaming in. I'm pretty sure like the first few games we played against bots because I think we played about 12, 13 games and we won about 9 or 10 of them. So like, feels good, man. I don't know how to build. I'm gonna tell you that right now. All I did was outgun people. I can't build to save my life. But anyway, yeah, Fortnite was a thing in my life, and I can now say that it's behind me. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. And yeah, we will see you guys next time. Y'all be safe, and until then, y'all motherfucking ta. Oh, and yeah, like you said, the internet was a mistake. We can't forget to end it on that.
Of course, the internet was a mistake. I've said it once and I'll say it again.
And I don't know how long your camera's been frozen, but it was frozen for a minute there. That was weird.
Oh, that was, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that.